What is shaking, Internet? This is Salt's bringing you the How to Tank for Dummies Garalon LFR guide. Garalon is the third boss in the Heart of Fear raid, and last in the Dread Approach LFR section. The trash before Garalon is completely negligible. Negligible? Negligible. It's just AoE tanking, and Garalon will start spawning after all the big guys are down. So please kill the little guys too, otherwise you're going to have problems. Garalon himself is pretty simple. He doesn't require any tanks, sad panda face, but you still serve a purpose. First up is Garalon's Crush move. As you can see, there's a big purple circle under Garalon. If anyone ever goes into this circle, Garalon will crush, doing a ton of damage to the whole raid and massive damage to the people who are standing directly under him. Luckily, in LFR, this has a 30-second cooldown, so it probably doesn't matter because you won't cast it more than once every 30 seconds. But don't stand in the purple circle. Next up is Furious Swipes. The boss constantly casts Furious Swipes, which does a big cone attack in front of him. You always want to stand in this, but it's avoidable. Wrong. Bad pallet tank. No more symbiosis for you. If this move does not hit two people, aka the tanks, then the boss gets stronger and faster, maybe even harder and better. Always make sure that both tanks get hit by Furious Swipes. Next up are the ads, with quotes. You'll notice a bunch of little circles all around Garalon. These little blue dotted circles indicate that Garalon's legs are alive. Doing any damage to the legs also deals damage to the boss, so you should focus these down. If any legs die, they slow Garalon for like 15% each. This means it's really important to kill all the legs. To make it easier, if you stand in the blue dotted circles, you'll get 100% bonus damage on that leg. But you need to be sure not to go into the purple circle, and always get hit by the Furious Swipes. Those are more important. Last but not least is Pheromones. Garalon will put Pheromones on the closest raider to him when the fight starts, or when he's engaged. Pheromones does a lot of different things. First, it makes the boss fixate on the pheromone player and always walk towards them. So basically they act like a tank-ish. Second, it constantly drops pools at the pheromone player's spot. This means that the pheromone player must constantly keep moving. Third, Pheromones puts a stack every 2 seconds on the pheromone player. Pheromone does raid-wide damage to everyone constantly, and the stacks of whoever has pheromones at the time makes the damage increase. More on this in a second. Fourth, Pheromones will jump to anyone else that comes within 2 yards of the pheromone player. A little more about that damage now. Here's an example. Let's say this terrible boomkin has pheromones and is running around like a moron. He gets up to 10 stacks, which increases the damage of pheromones to the entire raid by like 100%. Let's say a heroic mage comes along and tag teams the boomkin, getting the pheromones with 0 stacks. The boomkin won't be getting any bonus damage because he has pheromones. The 10 stacks he has doesn't matter. But the raid will continue taking damage, and more damage as the stacks on the mage get higher. The stacks will drop after 20 seconds, if you want to take it back after that. But in LFR, there's a very simple way to do this. Have the tanks take the pheromones. The nice thing is that in LFR, the stacks stop growing at 20. So once you're at 20 stacks, you can no longer gain any stacks, making it pretty easy to have one person indefinitely have the stacks. It does damage, but it should be healable. If you want, the tanks can try switching the stacks after 20 seconds. But otherwise, just get pheromones and stay away from everyone or anyone other than the other tank. That's literally the entire fight. Let's review. First, always stay out of the big purple circle. Second, always stay in front of the boss so that you get hit by the Furious Swipes. Third, if you're doing it the easy way, grab pheromones and keep it all to yourself for the entire fight. This will also guarantee that you stay in front of the boss since he fixates on whomever has pheromones. Last, don't stand in the pools. Just keep running around in circles, trying to keep the pools set apart and as far close towards the edge of the platform as you can so that they don't totally overwhelm the area. Regardless, it's pretty simple unless someone really gets stupid about the pheromones. Last up, differences between normal and LFR. There's lots of differences here, so I'll just cover them briefly. First, you need to have lots of coordination and people trading pheromones, because the stacks stay for 2 minutes in 10-man and 4 minutes in 25-man. meaning lots of people are going to have those stacks. Also, Crush will be cast every time anyone switches pheromones. Additionally, Crush has no cooldown, so if people are bad and stand in the circle, lots of pain ensues. Also, pheromones don't stop at 20 stacks, so that's bad too. Don't forget about all the increased damage and health. Ugh. If you tried Garalon on the first week of LFR release, I'm going to issue an apology for Blizzard. Sadly, it's a very simple fight now with the nerf, but it really was terrible that first week before the hotfixes. I hope you enjoyed this guide for dummies. Please like, favorite, subscribe, all that jazz, and as always, you keep it salty, Internet.